Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. I'm excited to connect with you all this evening. It's been an honor to read for you all. The reason I'm on here is because of the energy. The energy that we have going on right now, and I felt it'd be a good time to come in. And one of the main messages that I received in coming in and connecting with you all is, it's not what you think. It's not what you think. I think there's been a lot of disappointment that the twin flame journey is a healing journey and a self-love journey and a union with self journey. And then it's love, it's getting with someone and being with them in that healthy, loving relationship. There's been a lot of disappointment on that, and I get it. I get the desire to get the relationship and then get right. I get that. And that is the karmic cycle that is being ended on the earth. The reason being is that many of those relations could not sustain. Those relationships couldn't sustain long term. The reason is because the well-being of those in those relationships was not there. Many people were mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually offset in relationships. Not necessarily just because the relationship brought it in. And of course, many of you have come across some scoundrels I'm getting. Some scoundrels I'm getting, and it was a horrible experience. But I'm also getting that many of the things that birthed in those experiences were things that were within you. Things within your life experience that needed to be pulled up, pulled out, and then also gaining skill to interact throughout the earth. Knowing and discerning the beings and spirits of people. Knowing who's what, who's why, who's this, who's that from an internal level. Because when you look at someone from the outside, and you even interact with people, I'm getting interacting with people at work, interacting with family, interacting with friends, there is this tendency for masking around the earth. And when masking happens, you determine that inner soul of someone when you get in an intimate connection and relationship with them. Okay? And when that happens, many learn that people come with so many soul imprints and wounds that are painful for them both in trying to connect and be together. And not knowing how to deal with it, so it's just put back on each other, put back on each other, put back on each other, put back on each other is what I'm getting until the unions dissolve. And that's what we call that karmic cycle, where a person is in a relationship looking at the external, physical, and superficial in that person to fulfill them in their fullness, yet not tending to themselves and what they need and what got them in the space that they're in, you know? So that's really what's coming up. And this reading is, I'm getting kind of that ending that third party cycle. Ending that third party cycle that has continued to permeate throughout the earth. Well, the worth is what I'm getting, that this is about the worth. Because if speaking of divine feminine and divine masculine, then divine feminine and divine masculine should be of high esteem and worth and value throughout the earth. And what's happening now is that shifting. That divine feminine and divine masculine are seeing who they are. And you're getting, I'm not dealing with this. I desire this. I'm done with this. That is happening throughout the earth. And everybody's like, oh, it's because of this or that led me there or that. Understand. It's not the journey. Understand. It's not the person. Understand that you're on your own individual walking journey, and everything that you come across is participating on that. And each individual has their spacing and placing and spacing and placing and spacing and placing. And we're at a time where it is a requirement of alignment of self-awareness, self-responsibility in order to heal the earth. I'm getting that much violence has come out of this. Much violence. Because inability to sit with what I got going on with me, then I am going to spit it out on you. Some may start with words. Some may start with, I'm getting sneaky attempts, deception. And then others may be violent, physically, bodily. Oh, just violent. Machine crisis, massive destruction violent is what I'm getting. And that this is something that has permeated the earth for far too long. So when you think about the twin flame, these are two fires. Two fires to come and burn and light the earth. And they happen to spark each other up into that divine mission. And many, many times they get to travel it together at a point in time. But they have to get to that point of that full lighting, which makes this journey one of the most difficult, but one of the most fun and rewarding experiences that there is in healing in love. Healing in love. It's just not to misunderstand that this isn't one of those kind of, and I'm getting 90-day books to success and 90-day books to get a marriage, 90-day books to get a person. This isn't about getting and attaching to a person. That's the karmic cycle we're ending. This is about connecting, divinely connecting. Yeah. Yeah. And that is happening through self-awareness and love. Many of the people on this journey have asked for a great love. The people on this journey I'm getting the greatest love of all. Many of these people on this journey have asked for an amazing love story and relationship. These are I'm not going to settle in life. I'm not going to settle in life. I want this, I want that. These are the people who have gotten out of the things that set them on that point of settle. These are your power horses of the world. That is what composes of the divine feminine and the divine masculine. That is what they've birthed into. So it is about releasing that old template and structure of relationship and understanding what it is that a divine union is, and that I can't get there the same way I got to the other places or the way that I see the majority moving. That's the divine union. And many of the struggles in a divine union forces a person to look at themselves, forces a person to deal with themselves, forces a person to grow within themselves. It becomes a mandate Why? Because there is no escaping yourself and observation of the partner. Because the partner does not stick around for the projection. They don't stick around for the projection. They don't stick around and allow you to put it on them. In the divine union, the divine requires you to deal with your stuff. It requires you to ascend, grow, and elevate to new levels. And through that ascension and elevation of the divine feminine and the divine masculine, we have reached a place on earth. And if you've watched my readings, you've seen the cards shift. I mean, it was a holy mess before, you know. It was just like, oh, the karmic cycles, the karmic this and that, and that person, you know. And it was just like, I want my love, you know. And I just received the urging to come on here a week ago. I've only been on here like a week or so, you know, and of course, you know, my numbers seem to skyrocket, and I am grateful for that. But what I'm getting that has happened because I am coming with the big picture of this, and that many that have been on this journey have experienced fool's gold on the journey in many ways. Many ways, because no one, it wasn't an intentional leading of anyone astray, but there was a misunderstanding. There was an awareness of what it is that was happening in the divine union. These are people who said that I'm going to stop, look at myself, figure out what's going on, not settle, get what I want in life, and grow. Ascend. Well, that comes with some shakeups in the physical world. And that comes with some immovable options and immovable objects to require that person to move and sprout up. Oh, yeah. This journey is full of blocks to remove the blocks within the person. That brings me to this reading and where the cards have lined out within the collective and where we are now. And what I am seeing is that some are in this position, which is that, and this is a combo. I'm getting DFDM, which is beautiful, because when we start syncing together like this, which was amazing, I received a question about that. They were like, why is the DM reading starting to apply to me and the DF readings? Because the collective is becoming in that union and that oneness. What is that? No more feminine here, masculine here in the world. No more dominance of this and dominance of that and enslavement of that in the world. We're moving into that equilibrium within people that is required to filter in the peace on earth, to be able to treat each other in a way of love, because I see you as myself. I see you as myself, not someone to swindle. I'm getting swindle, not someone to swindle. I see you as myself, not someone to get my advantage off of. I see you as myself. Why? Because I see myself. I see myself. So the earth is shifting right now. So you're gonna see that. And I did a responding to that question in a post. There's this nice community posting that comes up, but I did a response to that. And in doing that, it just shows, you know, we all have the divine feminine and divine masculine within us, and we're balancing it within ourselves. And within the divine feminine, the divine masculine energy within the divine feminine is balancing within her, you know, and that is that energy that the divine feminine has needed to set boundaries. Boundaries for what is best for the divine feminine. Boundaries for what is well-being of the divine feminine. And as the divine feminine sets those boundaries within self, we're also looking out, and this is why it reflects as the twin. Then the divine feminine can look out and see the divine masculine also balancing those energies, which is there's a healing happening with the divine masculine end of the energy. And you're finding that the divine masculine is rising up in a different way and a spacing within the divine feminine and within the collective, looking out at the twin reflection. That's what this journey is about. It's an intuitive journey that I can see what's going on by what's going on within me. That is where my knowing comes from, and that is where my guiding comes from. And then therefore I began to become guided by self. And that's when you'll see a plethora of many of those gifts. We start out right here in a 9 of Wands. And when you look at that 9 of Wands, this is the figure actually just looking up, but still holding the wands, kind of ready, but looking up. And it's that expecting look of and awaiting the enemy, you know, but still that strength in opposition. And, you know, if I am attacked, I will meet it. That is what this is about. That's that card meaning. It's like, well, what is that about? And this is a position that, you know, many have found that everyone is, you know, seeing the shifting within, I'm getting the divine masculine and also within the divine feminine, is that preparedness for what's next. And it's like, well, what is it? What is the attacking of what? And I'm like, okay, well, clarify this. And then when I clarify, it's that too frivolous, too cautious, you know, that given to less fortune. And then also fortunate. And then also even money comes in there, you know. So it's the balance of that, but it's too much of this, too much of that. And what I'm getting is that this is the third party interruption of self. This is the third party interruption of self. And that is what the collective is looking at, divine feminine, divine masculine, like, I can no longer allow these interruptions of self, the life that I am supposed to be living. You get this one life. What is going on? I am seeing, I'm looking up in it, and I'm aware of it. I'm aware of it. And what we look at, and we look out in the earth, we're able to see that there has been an unnatural third-party development throughout the earth that has taken away from the structure of what many would call the divine union setup, which is that emperor and empress and that king and that queen. But that oneness that comes in within coupleship is what this reading is about when you think about love. And those on the divine union are looking for that oneness and coupleship, many of you. And what is happening is that there's been third parties where there's been unnatural attempting oneness with family members. And what we have is that people began to not leave their mother and their father. That those attachments with the mother and the father became so strong that people didn't develop their own inner guidance to lead them to their journey and who they should be with. So it's like, I can't leave my mother and my father. So many people have moms and fathers who are directing and guiding their lives fully in adulthood, that the attachments are so unnaturally strong that that person is not able to break away and do what they need to do for love and family and building and having those desires and dreams that many have aspired to have. Then we also have the third party structure that is dissolving, that's happening right now, that I'm getting is that in which this is the person that I desire to be with, but this is the person I'm with. This is who I desire to be with, but this is who I'm with. So what's happening within this point in the earth is that people are recognizing. And the reason why this card comes up like this is because the justice is right beside it. So justice is right beside it. So you know that justice is happening. This is in the present point. And you guys feel the energy of the justice happening. It is heavy right now. But justice is happening. That clarifier, falling in love, the wedding proposal, the need to balance emotions, an invitation to a social event. That is what I like to do my clarifiers and read the angel card and what that's saying. That's falling in love. This is a singular on here. That's falling in love. This is self-love that is happening around the earth right now in the divine feminine and divine masculine. So it's that self-love that is pouring down. And that is the justice that's happening. So as I fall in love with myself, then I am coming into union with myself. And that I am balancing out within myself. And I am now at a point that where justice is starting to happen. Justice is starting to happen. There's an invitation to something new. There's an invitation to a new way of relationship, which is those new structures and templates that we've been talking about. So the invitation to the new is coming from the fact of that I'm recognizing that these third-party situations aren't true to me, which is that I can no longer align myself in friend groups. I can no longer align myself and what I'm getting to the fullness, which is I'm committing my mind, my body, my spirit, my finances. I'm committing everything to these people and things. And, you know, the third party can also be those organizational structures that we've been talking about, jobs and religions and it's all of it. All of it's the third party of that union with self and the counterpart and family but mainly, and it's just like aligning myself in relationship with people who are not people I want to be with and feeling I have to stay, feeling I have to marry this person, feeling I have to go be in a relationship with this person, feeling that I have to go and have a family with this person. I'm getting also there's being the relief around birthing children and feeling as if we have to now be in a one union because we birthed the child, and I'm getting not able to fess up to the mistaking that was made, and I'm getting the mistaking of at this point, I began with someone that I had not determined within myself at that time period, that this was someone that suits and fits me for a long-term commitment because I didn't know what I wanted at that time, and I didn't know who I was at that time. So no longer feeling the shame of not trying to connect to people for the view of people, coming out of that karmic cycle, looking and saying, I am ready, but I'm no longer going to be in that space and of being too cautious to be myself for the sake of living for others. This justice point is happening, that justice point of where I am aware of myself. And don't get me wrong, many of you are connecting with the counterparts at this time period because it just will naturally happen. Because when you hear that saying, it's like, love the divine, love yourself, and love others as yourself. Well, once you get to this point of that aligning and union in self, then it's not a matter of that this is what you can do. It naturally happens that those counterpoints and those people naturally flow into your life in a different way because you are in a different way. And what I'm getting is that many of the collective are right here at this point in time, and they're just like, no. And it's not even a matter if they are, it's not about getting on and off of the twin flame journey or saying I'm with you, I'm not. You know, it's not about all that. It's saying no to this behavior. No to this behavior of my treatment to me. And the divine feminine and the divine masculine are doing that right now. And that is what is bringing down those third-party structures. It's not because, oh, I want to go off and go and have all of this with you. Yes, that's a part of it. But what is fueling the breakdown is that the divine masculine and the divine feminine within themselves are saying that this doesn't serve me. This doesn't serve me anymore. I can't be in these spacings because they're not loving to me. And that's many who are deciding to, just shift in so many ways relationship-wise. They're saying this isn't serving to me. And that's what's breaking down the structure of things. So I know it may seem like, okay, well, I'm supposed to be with this person, that person at this point in time, but they're coming into themselves and they're handling their business. And you're coming into yourself and you're handling your business. Even if that means, I won't accept this behavior from you. I won't accept this behavior from you. Because justice says, the justice card says rightness. So rightness says is that I am to be treated well. I am not supposed to come after you're directed by, I hear the birds chirping, after you're directed by friends and family and other people that you're involved with and other people that you are having sex with and other people that you are spending time with and other people that you are giving your money to and other people that you are promoting and other information that you're given that's not true to me. All of these things don't align to me. This isn't what I desire. This doesn't say that I am who I am. This doesn't say that I am that divine, feminine, and masculine that I have a claim to be. And it's okay if people desire these things in openness, but it's not okay if things are happening to people that they really on that internal heart soul level they don't want it. It doesn't align to who they are. And there's a struggle in doing that at this time period. So justice is coming in and many are experiencing justice. So it's just going to be an interesting time right now. Because in justice, there's a lot of adjustments that are happening in relationships. People are coming together. People are parting. People are changing what they align to. People are not. You will see a whole different newness of people coming within the divine union and twin flame journey. You'll see a whole grouping of people who are going to leave. You have to understand when there's a restructuring and when there's a shift, it's happening everywhere. It's happening on the earth. And what's happening is rightness is coming in. Truth is coming in. Love of self is coming in. So anything that denotes or goes opposite of that is falling to the wayside. Everything is being redefined. The divine union and twin flame journey is being defined. Relationships and marriage is being defined. Religion is being redefined. Everything is being redefined. Parenting, family, the way money is being made is being redefined. So we're in the point of that rightness where all of that is starting to happen. Why? Because we're moving into the 9 of earth. And you know what I apologize. I clarified. I actually spoke of the clarifier first. So we're going to go with it. The clarifier, 9 of earth, we're moving into that. And what does it say? Enjoying life's little luxuries. Yeah. So we're moving into that successful self-employment, spending quiet time alone, enjoying self, enjoying life, enjoying how you make money. Yes, being able to be with someone, but not being dependent on them in order to feel healthy, wealthy. You know, that's what's happening right now. People are becoming standalones. People are becoming standalones to stand together, meaning that everybody's up. Not you're up and then I'm down, and you're down, then I'm up. And then there was a lot of mistreatment that was happening in relationships because there wasn't where both were being able to follow their heart's desires. It was one having to forfeit their life for the other, one forfeiting their life for the other. And that's why many relationship structures just crumbled. It's just a whole, just building, just going. Because I have to sacrifice myself to be with you. I literally can't be free with you. I can't follow my dreams and desires and who I am with you. And what's happening in the new template is saying, no. You get someone to cheer you on and support you and encourage you as you be the best you. It's an add-on, not a takeaway, is what I'm getting that is happening in the relationship. And that brings exactly to the card that was pulled rather than the clarifier. And that is the Six of Pentacles. And that's that presence and gifts and gratification. But this is the thing. It goes in deeper. The meaning of this card is present prosperity, accepted time. So it's shifting out of that. I'm getting dreamland. Dreamland is that I am going to eventually get this. I am going to eventually get this. No, there is a promise shifting, and it is now. So you get to present time, have mental, emotional, physical, financial, and spiritual well-being despite anyone. That you can, your aloneness brings this. You are standalone on your own journey, and you get a counterpart as an icing. But you yourself are that badass is what I'm getting coming through. And then we shift in, and it's like, okay, so what is this about? So I've never gotten this, and I love it. It is the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands come out right next to each other, which explains the energy that is happening right now. And really the roughing is not that the king and the queen do not want each other to be in this position that I'm getting. The roughing that is being experienced on the earth is that I'm not used to you being in this space. I'm not used to you acting this way. I'm not used to you being that way. I'm not used to women being like this. I'm not used to men being like this. So I don't really know where you're coming from right now. So it's the coming together that's happening. But shifting and knowing no more of the old, no more of that third party where I would align with that type of where it's a taking from me, but not a fulfilling of me. But getting to the space of knowing that I do want a counterpart. And a counterpart is, I want somebody like me. But it's not in exactly like you. It's someone you I'm getting here in that say, someone who loves like me. Someone who shows up like me. Someone who puts in like me. Someone who lives like me, you know, not that external stuff, but that is what the shifting is coming around to. And you have that King of Wands, and the reason is the King of Wands is that honest, friendly, conscientious king. You know, that honesty, if I'm being honest, I want you to be honest. We got to be honest. That's how we go long term. That's how we get everything. That's how. The Queen of Wands is next. The Queen of Wands comes in, which is that friendly, just honorable queen. Same. And the reason, and I can't be honest until I am vulnerable. Vulnerable allows me to be honest, and I wasn't honest because it allowed me to be vulnerable, and I wasn't comfortable being vulnerable, but I've come into the justice of who I am, and I'm no longer allowing those other things that define, so I can be in that vulnerable space. I can say what I want, what I need, what I desire, what works for me, what doesn't work for me. I can say what I want, what I need, what I desire, what doesn't work for me, what does work for me. I can do all of those things. And now it's just a place of understanding. The queen has to understand that I'm getting the different spacing. The queen has to understand that the king in this position, and I'm also getting the king has to understand and the queen in this position that you are not like that. I see that. But this is a new structure. And what this means is, oh my gosh, I'm taking back. So I have to understand that you're not going to take my freedom that I've obtained. That I understand that you're not going to take me back into that old spacing. And I get that. I see the difference in you. But going into these new templates and new structures of relationship, communication, interacting, what I'll be a part of and what I won't be a part of, is requiring to say, oh my goodness, I'm taking back, because this is all new. This is all new. So there is a slow walk into what is new. There is a slow walk into what is new. And there is a taking in what is new. And there is a surrendering to what is new. And this is what's happening. A learning and a learning how to build it, a learning how to work it, learning how to build it, learning how to work it. That is where we are. So the justice of the love of self is leading into the king of and the queen of wands next to each other, which we know what this represents. And then even when we go to, and when we say we know what it represents, it does represent that divine feminine, divine masculine. But understand this is a balance of divine feminine and divine masculine within self. And then it is also creating unions of divine feminine dominant and divine masculine dominant people who can now come together. That's the journey. That is where we are. And then even to clarify the king, a successful time, confidently accepting opportunities that are offered. That is where the divine masculine has moved into. Being able to be open and accepting a new way, a new template, a new structure of living. So no longer seeing that the way of third party, of still being under that attachment of mother and father, still being under that slavery obligations when it came to third parties and showing up for people and communities. And this is how I have to live my life because this is what you guys want. So moving into that space of no, confidently accepting the opportunities that are offered, a successful time. Then you go into the Queen of Wands, and then that clarifier comes in, a sudden event that needs immediate attention. What time is of the essence? Think things through carefully. So the divine feminine that I'm getting even coming in on that position of being in that space of, okay, I know what works for me and what doesn't work for me anymore. And then even with the divine masculine and the collective coming in with the King of Wands, and it's like, okay, I'm accepting now. I'm accepting that that's not it, and there is a new way to be. But it's still at that position now of where the divine feminine is, just really sitting in that space, but also pondering, also even that deeper falling in love with self of the divine feminine, and going into the missions heavily and knowing what's for me and what's not for me is what I'm getting with the divine feminine. So we are at this placing in the collective, and it's beautiful how these cards have come out. I know that it's really heavy right now. You might have had, and when we say the switch over that's happening, you might have had readers that you dealt with before, and you know, they're maybe not available in the way that they were before, and you're seeing that the relationship structures are changing. You're seeing the changes in the people, but you're not knowing where you stand with those people, with the changes. Even feeling like I've put in everything, you know, but is it going to be at that payoff point? Well, we are right here in that justice position, which is the adjustment and a switchover and a changeover of everything. And this is what a spiritual journey of healing and relationship, if you take a journey like this is that point of faith. Yeah, that's where we are. And in that point of faith, it is still in that spacing of confidence in self, which is beautiful. Beautiful. So it's almost like I got myself. I got myself, and all these other things will be added. I'm getting a shout out and hug to, I'm getting the fire signs, water signs, air signs, earth signs. Shout out, love, and hug. Absolutely. The golden mission. The golden mission is union within self and union with others. Union within self, then union with others. And that is the new template that is being created. And many now will begin to develop connections based from that union within self. And the outcomes are yet to be determined. Yet all things work together for good.